Hey everybody, Casey in the kitchen, and today I am making some homemade refried beans in the quick cooker. So you guys know I love the quick cooker because it saves me time and time again. Super easy to use, so safe, and you can do a million things with it. If you're running behind on getting stuff ready for dinner, this is your solution. If you maybe aren't the best cook, this is your solution. If you don't have a stove or don't want to use the stove and heat up the house, this is your solution. It does tons. So right now I have the saute or sear setting on. So the very first setting on this right here is just going to make the pan hot down in the bottom, and that's where I'm going to saute veggies or even sear the outside of my meats before I start cooking them. So electric pressure cooking is going to cut down on your cooking time by 70%. I know, crazy, right? It's also going to retain a lot more of your vegetables nutrients. So I use this all the time. Today I'm making refried beans, and yes, you can make your own beans at home. You don't have to buy the store canned beans, which are actually coated in an enzyme that holds them together and doesn't let you digest them very well. So, right? So with this, I have a little bit of oil down in the bottom, and I'm gonna just start with our onion that I've chopped up here. I'm gonna throw that down in there, and you're gonna hear it sizzle. And we're just gonna start cooking that onion. Next, I'm gonna add in some fresh garlic. I'm gonna use the garlic crust here, just put a clove in. I'm gonna do 2 cloves. I don't have to peel it or anything. We just squeeze it together, and all the good yummy garlic comes out. And we use this little tool, and the peel stays inside. Oh, you can smell that garlic just as soon as it hits the heat. All right, squeeze that together again. And this little tool is actually, it hooks right inside of here, so it's always together. All right, so we've got our onion and garlic we're starting with. Now this is a 6-quart stainless steel pot, super easy to clean. It can even go in the dishwasher. But we're just trying to start to get those onions a little translucent or see-through. And then we're gonna add in everything else. So the remainder of our ingredients is gonna go in there. Usually if I cooked pinto beans and I just wanted them as whole beans, which by the way, pinto beans are your refried beans, or you can do it as black beans. You can do black refried beans too, those are really good. I would do it for about 25 minutes. I don't have to pre-soak the beans or anything like that. But for this recipe, since I'm going for the refried beans, so I want them super mushy almost, maybe that's the word, I'm actually gonna do 45 minutes when I put the lid on and set this. So I'm gonna stir this one more time. All right, so we're ready to start adding in the rest of our ingredients. So here's my 1 cup of pinto beans, and I'm gonna add those in. I'm gonna add in some broth and water. Ta-da! I'm gonna add in some jalapenos. So fresh jalapeno would be best in here, but guess what? I didn't have that on hand. So I had some canned, garden canned jalapenos, and I'm just gonna add those in, because they're going to be delicious. And then I'm also going to add in some seasoning. So I've got salt, I've got cayenne pepper, oregano, cumin, and a bay leaf. So I've got that all measured out in here. And of course, hopefully you guys know that with your bay leaves, you do fish those out at the end. You do not leave those in your food. So there we've got all of our ingredients in there. I'm just gonna stir that just a minute, get everything mixed around, and that's it. I'm gonna put the lid on, just like this. ta-da, I'm gonna hit the cancel because we had the sear function on. Remember, that was heating up the bottom of that pan, and I don't need that anymore. Now I'm going to turn it to the bean setting down here. 16 programmable settings on this. It does it all, from your rice, your beans, it does dessert, there's a chicken poultry setting, there's a beef stock, or a beef setting, there's a fish setting, there's a soup stock setting. It just does everything. You can make oatmeal in here for the morning. You can make a whole roast and potatoes. You could do a cheesecake in here. You can do ribs in less than an hour and they are fall off the bone tender. Amazing, right? So this says 25 minutes because that's typically what the bean setting would be. I'm going to up that for my refried beans though. And so I'm going to hit the time and adjust that for more time. There's also a custom setting on here, which means that you can custom set all of it. And I'm going to do 45 minutes and press start. Super easy. The lid is on. It's going to start to pressurize. When it's up to pressure, this little red indicator in the back is going to pop up. So you'll see that above the lid. And then it'll start to count down once it's under pressure. And when it's all done, it'll beep and it'll slowly start releasing pressure naturally. Now you can also manually release the pressure when it's done by pushing this button, and the pressure comes out way here in the back, nice and far away from your hands, super safe to use, and you can manually release the pressure. For this recipe, I'm going to let it naturally release for at least 20 minutes, and then I'll manually release the rest of the pressure. And then we will check everything, take that bay leaf out. I probably won't even have to mash it, but if I need to, I can stir it around, mash it up a little bit, and we will have delicious refried beans. Talk to you guys later.